Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. The last item you're probably going to be pretty amazed by, just because it's kind of interesting that I found this. So here we go. The first thing that I picked up today, because it was half price day, was this game right here, an only on Xbox title, which I like to collect only on Xbox titles for sure. Some of them I think are like kind of obscure now, I guess, because they never came out on multi-platforms. People kind of have sort of forgotten a lot about the original Xbox and what it had to offer, being overshadowed by PS2, especially in people's minds when they're collecting these days. Really one of my favorite systems to collect, where I definitely log more hours on the original Xbox than I ever have the PS2, so you know, to each their own or whatever. It kind of makes it good for me because people often leave only for Xbox titles behind, and this is the case with this one here. It is Brute Force, and I didn't have this in my collection already. Like I said, it's an only on Xbox title, so that's really wicked right there. It's totally complete, which is super nice as well, and the game disc is, well, reasonable, but I'll probably resurface that anyways. I think it's really hard to see on the camera. There you go, you can kind of get an idea. There's some glare, but few little scratches and things like that on it, but not too bad. $2.50, so thought that was reasonable for sure. The other item, which was the amazing item at the end here, I actually am going to save for the end, so I did find one other item at that shop. When I went down to my other Goodwill, actually, you know, I hit up a Value Village first, so I'll show you that. I went over to a Value Village and I picked up for $4 this blue PS2 controller, and this is the first time I've unwrapped it, so let's hope this is in as good a shape as it looks like it's in. But it's really clean for being a used item found in a Value Village, that's for sure, and all the buttons seem to work and everything like that. I haven't tested it obviously, but it just needs like a little bit of a wipe down, and pretty good to go. I've basically been collecting these blue controllers, really like the color of them, for my PS2, so once I get 4 of these, I think I'll be good to go. I think I'm at 3, this might even be the 4th one now. I haven't even double checked to see, but needless to say, for $4, I thought this was a pretty good deal, and like I said, it's in excellent condition, so hopefully when I test it, it works out and everything like that. Moving on, I'll get onto that Goodwill now. Something I probably shouldn't have bothered to pick up, but I did. I didn't really check the disc. I don't know why I didn't. I only picked up one title. You think I would have checked the disc? I must have had something else cross in my mind at the time. Kind of a rookie mistake, but it's the way it goes, you know. I picked up this game right here, Astro Boy. Don't know a whole lot about it. Just, you know, it's Astro Boy, so I thought I would pick that up. And it's also complete, which is the good part of it. The sad part of it is this disc is really scratched up. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's pretty brutal. Hopefully the resurfacer can get that, but there's a couple of pretty deep scratches in that. I'm trying to see if there's no like spots where you can see through, so I don't think the data has been damaged, but I'm gonna have a hard time, I think, cleaning that disc, even with the resurfacer that I have. We'll have to see how it goes. Hopefully it'll work out well, but again, that's going to be a good test, I think, for the machine. And this here was half price day, so this was $2.50, so hopefully that works out for me. The next thing I picked up, I went over to the Talese. There wasn't a whole lot there. There was a huge sale yesterday. It was just chaos in the place, so a ton of people went through there, cleared everything out for the most part. They didn't really clear out a lot of the media stuff because it wasn't the stuff that was on sale, but still, if they were going through, they would have looked through there, and if there was anything good, it would have been gone. So I did manage to find one item, which I don't know if it was left behind by somebody else and there was a bunch of stuff there, or if this is just the one item that happened to be there. And it's not really that interesting of a title, it's not really that amazing of a title, but it's what it is that sort of piqued my interest, because I don't have something like this. It's a PlayStation 1 game. It's NFL Game Day for PS1, And this is the reason why I like this, is it's in this cardboard long box kind of setup here. So here's the manual, which obviously goes on this side. It's in pretty good shape, the manual, and the game's right there. I didn't have a game that was in one of these, so that's really what caught my eye with this. And the disc itself is in reasonable shape. There's a few scratches and stuff on there, but really I wanted this for the box itself, just because that is something I've never seen really for the longest time. I'm sure I saw it back in the day, didn't really pay much attention to it, but nowadays I haven't seen anything like this, so I decided to pick that up. It'll look pretty stellar, because I do have over on my PlayStation 1 side there, I do have one also long box, but it's a plastic box. This is more like a cardboard type of thing. Really cool and pretty good shape, maybe a few small like dents and stuff in it, but otherwise pretty nice. For that one there I paid $5, so $4.99, so pretty cool right there. And then moving on, the Value Village, earlier on in the day that I picked this controller up in, I actually dropped by it twice, and I'm glad I did. This was at the request of my son. Again, I was picking him up from daycare, and he said he wanted to go pop some tags, which is his way of saying go to the thrift shop. So we went over to the Value Village, and I'm glad I followed his advice, because I found 3 PlayStation 1 titles, which all of which I didn't have in my collection, and all of which I think are pretty awesome titles. So the first one here is Alien Resurrection, and it's complete as well. And the disc on these ones are relatively decent. This one's pretty dirty though, it needs to be cleaned, but for the most part it's in great shape. And for that one there I paid $3.99, so $4. It's an awesome find, I think, right there. Never really played it before, but it looks kind of interesting, like a first-person shooter. I'll definitely check this one out, that's for sure. And obviously part of the Alien series is pretty happening. The next one here, which is kind of an interesting game because there's 2 different versions of this. This one here is a greatest hits version of it, but still, nonetheless, it's pretty cool because it supports the DualShock, and that's Resident Evil Director's Cut. And this one here is interesting, and I don't know, you guys can tell me, but on the other version of this, the non-DualShock version, it's actually 2 discs. Just a second, I'll grab that. I'll show you what I mean. There's the original, or not the original, but rather the DualShock version of this, and then there's this director's cut here. And I think maybe the difference is, oh, okay, never mind, I wasn't aware of this. That's the Resident Evil demo in there. So this is Resident Evil director's cut with the Resident Evil 2 rather demo in there. That's why it's 2 discs. So obviously this one here did not come with the demo. Now I don't know if the non-greatest hits version of this actually came with the demo or not. You guys can let me know, but this greatest hits version does not have it. So I'll probably end up keeping both, just because they're pretty cool and the artwork's totally different on these between the greatest hits and the director's cut versions of this. But if you know and you have a black label version of this one here, which is the DualShock version, if you have that, let me know if that's actually a 2-disc one as well as like this one, or if it's just, you know, the single disc like the one I have here. And then for that one there I also paid $3.99. And then finally a game which I've been looking for quite some time, and I'm looking for the Dreamcast version of this as well, but still cool to get the PlayStation 1. The original one that I saw was on PlayStation. A buddy of mine was playing it, and I was just blown away by the graphics of this game. I'm sure they're dated now, but back in the day I was really impressed with what I saw at his place. Now the case on this one's pretty beat up, so I'll have to replace that, but otherwise it's pretty cool. It's Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, PlayStation 1. Again, $4 for that, and totally complete as well. And the disc is like the other ones, kind of a little bit scuffed up and stuff, but should play. If it doesn't, I can clean it up and should be good to go. There's no like deep scratches or anything on it, so really awesome right there. Really pleased to find these titles. There were a number of other titles there, but I just decided to pick out these 3 because the other ones I already either had or weren't really that interesting to me. So pretty pretty cool. 3 quality titles, I think, there for the PlayStation 1 that I didn't have in my collection already. It's been a long time since I found like really quality PS1 games, so that's pretty awesome right there. And then moving on, the last item, which was one of the first items that I found today. And you'll remember this from yesterday. I picked up the DDR Tournament Edition Intech mat, which apparently, according to people's comments and what I've been able to research online, is worth between like 150 and 200 bucks if you sell it. So that's pretty awesome. And what I found here is another one. So, oh my goodness, weighs a ton, but there it is right there. You're not seeing me pulling a sleight of hand kind of deal on you. This is actually a second mat. It was in pretty much the exact same spot as the first one I found yesterday. I went into the place, went to the back, and it was sitting like amongst the paintings, basically, at the back of the thrift shop, the Goodwill, and I decided to pick one up. The only thing with this one is, and it's gonna be hard to see, where the wire goes in to connect it. There's a small chip where the plastic meets up, but I don't think it's gonna affect anything. It's just right here. And otherwise, it's in basically the same shape as the other one, just really needs to be cleaned up to begin with and test it out, which is something I'm going to have to figure out with my Xbox, because I don't actually have a DDR game in my collection, so I'll have to figure out something I can do with it. Maybe I can just hook it up and kind of put another game in and just hit the buttons and see if they go, if they do something, but we'll have to see if that actually works. Again, for this one here, and they wrote on it basically in the same spot, $10. And for those of you that don't believe me, I'll prove this right now. So as you can see, I'm telling you the truth, I actually found a second one of these. So hopefully I'll be able to sell the pair of them actually. And I think that might actually make it more appealing to someone who's looking at these, to be able to get 2 of them, because you can then compete against people and whatnot, rather than having like one of these really nice ones and then having a cheapo kind of mat. Hopefully these work. Again, I haven't tested them out, so that's something I'm going to have to look into here. But that being said, that's everything I have for you today. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.